Hey guys, good afternoon, good morning. Welcome back to our channel. How you guys doing? I hope you're doing well today. Thank you so much for joining me. If you have not yet subscribed, I don't even remember to say it anymore. Eshanu Aje, subscribe. Just click on the red button below and also turn on your notification. I realize that a lot of people are not putting on their notification. That's why they are not getting my videos whenever I post. So if you are a returning subscribers, make sure your notification bell is on. Put it on all notifications so that whenever I post, you can get it. So I wanted to share with you guys the tragic news about this young girl that passed away in Leeds in the UK. Some of you on social media may have seen it. This was reported on the 30th of April 2025 by an ex-user, and you can see the picture of the young lady here, and it just says that it's with a heavy heart and deep sorrow that we report the sudden passing of one of our own, Nurse Miriam, a dedicated and professional nurse based in Leeds in the United Kingdom. Nurse Miriam, whose full name is Nurse Miriam, was found RIP in her room earlier this week under heartbreaking circumstances. According to reports, her last shift was on Sunday of last week, but alarm bells were raised when her close friend tried reaching out to her repeatedly from that Sunday without success. Growing increasingly worried, the friend filed a missing person report only for the police to later discover her lifeless body in her apartment. Wow, Marshall. So this incident sent shock through the nursing community, both in the UK, back home in Nigeria. Very painful that Nurse Miriam has just returned from Nigeria, where she celebrated her introduction ceremony. So she was about to get married and had even done the first stage, which is usually the introduction where both families meet one another. A joyful step towards her traditional marriage. Her partner, we understand, had not yet joined her in the UK. Yesterday was meant to be her special day, a day of joy, celebration, and new beginnings. Instead, her colleagues and loved ones are grappling with unspeakable grief and unanswered questions. Nurse Miriam was not just a professional, she was a beacon of kindness, dedication, and resilience. Her untimely RIP is a deep wound to the healthcare family who served with pride. She served with pride, and to the many patients whose lives she touched with care and compassion. Investigation continues. We join the family, friends, and the global African nursing community in mourning this tragic loss. Rest in peace, Nurse Miriam. Nena, your light will never be forgotten. So, not a very good news, very, very sad news. As you can see, beautiful young lady. I'm suspecting she was hired from Nigeria. Working in the UK. I'm not sure if he was trained in the UK, but I suspect that because they said Nigerian born. So I'm suspecting she was trained in Nigeria. You know, UK offers a lot of opportunities for people who work in health and health related fields for jobs in social care and healthcare. So this young lady, Nurse Miriam, was working in Leeds as a nurse, and they said she's just returned home from Nigeria where she went to do her introduction for her marriage. So, I mean, the reason why I wanted to share this with you is that when you are relocating from Africa or from Nigeria to this part of the world, to the abroad, there are things a lot of people, especially if you are relocating alone, if you are single and you have no family here and you are going to be living alone, there are a lot of things that people need to be aware of. See, nothing prepares you for the kind of isolation and social isolation you feel when you come to this part of the world. I don't think there's anything. I don't know about you. Me, when I came to the UK, I was already married, but I was still lonely. I still felt like a huge part of me was in Nigeria because I left the life that I know. My parents, my siblings, my extended family. And this is the beauty of living in Nigeria. And that's why Nigeria will always be somewhere that, against all odds, people will still find community. They will still find strength in one another. They will still find joy, in that togetherness that we have. It's something that is so beautiful. I don't think we even talk about it enough. We don't talk about how beautiful our communities are in terms of how we usually pull together. So, for instance, when you relocate and you come to the abroad, yeah, get an apartment or you are sharing a flat with someone, you are all by yourself. You go to work, you come back. You have friends. Even for people that are established in the abroad, how many times do you see your friends? Everybody is so busy. The life of abroad is walk, Inisha. And even though you have friends or you have, extended family or people that colleagues from work, all you do is, all your friends are FaceTime friends or Facebook friends or internet friend. Because all you do is talk on the phone. Sometimes you're talking to the phone on the phone with friends in Nigeria. It is lonely. It is so lonely. So it is very, very important for you when you relocate for you to build a community around you. I know it's not always easy straight away because this is a foreign land. You don't know anybody, or maybe you know one or two people that live. And the funny thing about most Nigerians who live in Nigeria, they think that when they say UK, in the mind of most Nigerians, UK begins and ends in London. London is UK. And so people will say, where is your relative? They are in London. Maybe they are living in Birmingham. Where is your relative? They are in London. Maybe they are living in Manchester. Maybe they are in Scotland. Maybe they are in Wales. The average Nigerian in Nigeria thinks that London is the only city in the UK. But that's not true. There are so many cities and some of them are very far. So let's say she knew somebody in London, for instance, living in Leeds. That's far. It's not likely that they are even going to spend time together or see, except she takes a holiday or the person has an holiday and say, okay, come and visit me. We don't see each other. Nobody has time to see anybody. And so it is very, very important once you jackpot, please build a community around yourself. And that is the whole point of making this video. Because this young lady, I know some comments on social media, people are making remarks about how, maybe it's got to do with village people, she's going to do introduction, and it's got some, we always spiritualize everything as Nigerians. You can't take it away from our people. So people are making the case that maybe it's because of the marriage that she's about to do, that's why she was RIP. I don't know about that. It's not to say or disregard the fact that there are some spiritual things that happen. Yeah, definitely. I'm a very spiritual person, so I understand that. However, most cases it's not. It's not. It's just sometimes things happen, health issues happen. So this young lady is living at home. She went to work on Sunday and they didn't see her again. She didn't show up for work. Of course, your work people, your work management or whatever they are called are going to call your number. If you don't show up for work, they will call you to find out. But they are not going to send somebody to your house. They will call you, email you. Is everything all right? If you don't show up, they'll just look for somebody to replace you. Straight away. Work must go on. Nobody has time to go to your house to be chasing you. Do you understand? And then her friends, of course, could not go until days later. So it means that she has RIP and was lying in that room by herself for days. You usually hear these things happen to old people in the abroad. Yeah, people in their 80s, 90s, they live alone and you hear that they RIP and nobody will know until maybe carers will show up or, some weeks, nobody will know. But in Nigeria or anywhere in Africa, it's not possible. And that is where I'm going with this. The beauty of our communities back home is the fact that we are intertwined like this. People are usually, everybody's is really is, you know your neighbors, you know the people around you, your colleagues are your friends. They will come to your house. There is no way they will not see you one day and nobody will come to knock on that door. They will come. Someone will come and say, are you at home? Where are you? You know your neighbors, they look out for each other. But here in the abroad, nobody send you. They don't send you. And that's the thing I don't like about the abroad. The individualistic lifestyle is too much, and we as Africans, we are not used to that lifestyle because we come from a community, and that's why we're always around community. We always build that community, in our churches. We try to make friendship groups so that, if you are not intentional about having a community around you in the abroad and you have no family, kuma easy rara. It's not. Just look at this young beautiful girl now, all by herself, living alone. I'm sure her life was just going to work, coming back, because you know how it is again. It's not so easy when you relocate. If you are living by yourself, what are you going to do except you are traveling? You work. And because she's getting married again, her fiancé is in Nigeria, that's a lot of pressure. She needs to work to make money to go to Nigeria. They've done introduction. She needs to go back to do wedding. She needs to go back, to file for the husband and things like that. So the point I'm trying to make is that you need to make sure you have people around you. Don't say, a lot of Nigerians will say, I don't talk to Nigerians, so I don't talk to Nigerians. I don't want to have anything to do with Nigerians. When shoe comes to push, you have things to do with Nigeria. You have something to do with Nigeria. I don't pray that anything happens to you, but you better build a community around you. Make friends that at least you guys will be checking in on one another, even if it's a lot of my friends that I made when I recently came here were I made friends from the children's school gate. I made friends from when I started working. I made friends from work and things like that. From church, of course, you made friends. Build friendship networks, people that you check in, have groups that you check in. Is everything okay? I'm just checking in. That's all. Just check in, because the isolation kò dá lára. And the reason why I say Nigeria is different and everywhere in Africa is different, because we are always into everybody's into everybody's business, is that if anything is happening to you, it's likely that your next door neighbor knows you. They come into your house. You too, you go into their house. So you can quickly call and say, please come, I don't know what is wrong with me, come. Then they can call an ambulance. They can get help. But whereby there's nobody that you know in the city or in the area where you live, the only person that you relate to it or that are your friends at your workplace and things like that. I'm not saying that's exactly what happened to this young lady. I'm just making instances where things like this can happen. You need to be very, very, intentional about building social networks around yourself. I know that we came here for a better life. We came to the abroad to make money. Work is important, and we work. We have to work. We have to work because bills have to be paid. But also, self-care is very, very important. Friendship is important. You might not have your biological family here, but you can create a family for yourself in the kind of people that you strategize. Some people they are not very, it's not easy for them to make friends. It's not easy for them to interact with other people. But if you live in this part of the world, you go learn. You have to learn. You just have to put up a smile and say, how are you? Can we be friends? It's okay to ask somebody, can we be friends? Can I have your number? Let's just at least reach out to one another and make sure that we are checking in. Okay? It could have been a heart attack. It could have been anything. Maybe she has some underlying medical condition. You don't know. Anything can happen. Anything can happen to anybody. It's just by the grace of God. So if you are going to Japa from Naija, please bear that in mind. The abroad, nothing prepares you for what you will meet here. And that's why a lot of, you see people, they say, please, my mental health. Because in Naija, if you are a people's person who like to, you just like to be around people, that's something you will enjoy in Nigeria, because there's always people around you. For someone like me, I was telling one of my aunties the other day, I love people in my house. When I in Nigeria, my cousins, everybody come to my house. I will cook. That is what gives me joy. We'll cook, we'll have a good time together. That's why I'm always having, I have a small friendship group that we're always meeting. About 2 weeks ago, they were in my house. And this bank holiday now, I'm expecting them again. We always come together, we will cook, we will gist, we will onboarding ourselves, we will laugh, we will throw banter. The one that want to, that have things in their mind they want to say, they will say it's good for your well-being. It's good. It's just, the kind of groups, friends that you can't be pretentious around them. You just be yourself. You are yourself, like there is no air around you. This is how I am. They've accepted you for who you are. They cuckoo know you. You need those kind of relationships in your life. So I'm just going to end by saying I pray that the soul of this Miriam rest in peace. May the Lord console the fiance, the family, and everybody that knows her friends and colleagues. Please do not isolate yourself in the abroad. Please get people around you. If you are single, make sure you have people that are checking on you daily. If you have a boyfriend or you have a girlfriend, you have sibling, let them check on you daily. Good morning, how are you? If they don't hear from you, no matter how busy you are, don't say, my shift is 7 o'clock. While you are on the bus going, while you are driving, but can send a voice note. You need to make sure that we are interacting. Life is not good to be so isolated and living. We are not used to it as Africans, to live that kind of individualistic life. It's only people that can do it. They can have a dog and they will just be by themselves in that house all their lives. They are used to it. But that is not the kind of community that we come from. May the Lord help us. May the Lord keep us. May the Lord watch over us. Thanks a lot for watching. Give us a thumbs up. Subscribe if you have not yet done so. And I will speak to you in my next one. I love you. Bye, guys.